from Evergreen Lanes in Everett. We're here for the title match of today's JBT tournament. Two interesting title matches with four really good storylines here. McConnell Wong, one of the best in the Northwest, still somehow doesn't have a title. He looked really good in the semifinal game, but he's up against a tough customer in Tommy McNeil, who's just been destroying him all day long. That evens it up one strike apiece over there. In the handicap division, talk about two kids who just walloped the pins and destroyed their averages all day long. Jaden Humphreys, your top seed today at plus 384. Colt number 2, Colt Chance number 2 at plus 311. That's almost always enough to lead today. That was only good for second. So we'll see if they're able to keep it up here in the title match. Yikes. And since we've turned the camera on, Jaden has whiffed a 5 and then big 4s right after that. And a sardonic smile there, Kaylee. You care. Dang it. I know that. And Kaylee isn't any of you, it's Kylie. I tried to correct. Nah, never mind. Jaden should get the count here, even though he's annoyed at that split. You never know what's going to happen later on in the match. Well, instead, he kicks the field goal. That's 2 more pins to count off the scoreboard. Colt's got to win this match by 3 to tie and 4 to win, and as a result of those back-to-back opens, he's got a big early lead. McConnell's got a tricky bucket to cover and whiffs it. Yikes. He shot 273 the last game to get to this title match. And we talked about Simon trying to put the previous losses out of his head yesterday. McConnell's got to do the exact same thing. Perhaps some title match jitters going on here with the finalists so far. Tommy, all the experience in the world, he should have none of that. And he doesn't as he gets the late glove on number 7 there to open with the double. Much higher scores than yesterday, much more forgiving pattern than yesterday. As cut was 70 down in scratch yesterday, and it was only 7 down today. Just about the same time here. McNeil with that well-polished form. I'm going to post that form at the foul line. The 8 just gives up. There's no way I'm standing for a shot that good. And a pretty shot from Chance gets him his first strike of the title match as these two friends go at it there. He says, game on. Jaden's got to worry about himself right now and recover. I'm worried if he's living on the right lane. There he goes. He's the crowd. Yep. He fakes out the crowd. He knew that. This is Wong on way camera left here. Can't let Tommy get too far in front of him. Quick shot. Give him a break. Give him a big break. Nope. Left the 10. Jaden bowled scratch games today of 212, 223, 243, 254, and finished it off with the front 9 274. So just astronomical numbers for him, but you still have to finish up with a 1-game title match win. You're right, Colt, I never talk about you. Oh man, but after all those high numbers, it's an albatross. Opens in a row. Yikes. Jaden came into the weekend so sick he almost didn't bowl yesterday. And he's still coughing up a lung today and went plus 400. Imagine if he was healthy. I think he would have averaged 334, Kiara. Thank you, Kiara. Gets it wide. Going too wide, and he just looks a little lost on this fair right now. I don't know if he says one lane's hooking more than the other. I don't know if he's tired. Shouldn't be nervous. He's got a title. He knows how to win. 3-time champ, so they'll both. Everybody here except McConnell with a win. Tommy, an 8-time champ. Oh man, the way he's throwing it, it only looks like bad luck could stop him, and that's horrible luck with the old solid 7. Kara, this is the quietest you've been all weekend. What's the deal here? You're finally near a mic, and it's silent Wilcox. What's your story? No? All right, let's go on with it. Oh, look out. Ooh. Surprising whiff there. Gives McConnell a whiff of hope. Jantz having none of it as he flushes this double there. Colt won his last match 246 to 207 over Aubrey Harding. Aubrey won the first game with a big 268 over Skylar Bouchard. Told you Wong beat Frazier. Frazier won the first match 224 to 206 over Andrew Martin. Here goes McNeil and Jantz. Half 10 for Colt, 10 in the pit for Andrew. Big thanks to Jason Hoff and the whole crew here at Evergreen for hosting us. Pretty flawless job, I'd say. Old school 20-laner here, about halfway between Seattle and Canada. As the Canadians did very well this weekend. Oh, look out. First open of the game for Jantz, and Jaden must take advantage right here. He can't wait any longer. The game's halfway over already. Same for McConnell. Only trails by 21 though. No! Ball did not finish very hard for Wong. He throws an absolute tank, and that came close to 8-10ing on this long oil pattern. Yesterday was long too, but way differently shaped. Much higher ratio from the oil to the dry. Gives you much more margin for error. But you got to be careful of the lane clipping and having oil to the left. So much oil to the left, the ball doesn't react unless you get it out to the dry, but then you jump, a hyper jump off the dry. Look out, Jaden. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's a helpless feeling when you're out here and the last one's bowling and everybody's watching you and just the wheels coming off at an inopportune moment. Trip that 4. Just nothing good happening if you're not named McNeil right now, and even Tommy had that bad break in the 4th. I tell you. I'm telling you, yeah. What a weird year on tour. They can make a 2-4-8-10 like it's a 5-pin. Oh! But they can't make any single pin spares, and those are the skinniest jeans I've ever seen in my life. Don't hurt it. Sorry, Mr. Stone, sir. Completely hijack. Whoa! Oh, man. You can't get more entertaining on a 7-pin conversion than that. He does a little jig at the foul line, stays behind, and he just kisses the pin down. Looks like the oil's pretty far down lane on 18, as both McConnell and Tommy just leave very half-tens. Uh-oh. Boy, Colt just needs to mark once or twice to put Humphreys away, and instead he's staring down back-to-back opens here. Conversely to McConnell, McNeil should not let Wong stick around either. If McConnell finds a look, he'll strike for days. Smart to get the 1 here for Colt. Colt came oh so close to making the show yesterday, but had a heartbreaking 10th frame finish to lose one of his matches, but rebounded spectacularly today, obviously. High game scratch of 266. So, wow. So, again, this is the handicap finals, and in their last game of the semifinals, Jaden 279, Colt 266 scratch. If only that was the stepladder match, it would have been 309 to 298. Jaden wins. That would have been a historic. Humphrey's not done yet, but now he's really out of frames. Has to put the X's together. He would gladly take a Brooklyn, but can't get that 5 to go. Just doesn't have a good look all of a sudden. Oh, man. This happens every once in a while on really high-scoring days that the lanes finally start to break down. And once they do, the bowlers get really confused for a little while. If you gave these guys a couple more games each, yikes, they would each figure it out. But right now, some sloppy bowling going on here, no other way to put it. McConnell definitely should have gotten those 2 pins here, as he is by no means out of the match. For Jaden, it's just, boy, a tough pill to swallow right now. It's just nothing at all indicative of how absolutely spectacular he was all day long. Other than those 200s I mentioned, a 176 and a 147, this will be under that unless he what goes off the sheet from here. Wong has to spare this 3-6 to have any prayer. He can max for 188, Tommy going at a 207 clip. Oh no, he's going to miss that too. Well, if you're going to fall apart just completely, the only spare he made is when he did the jitterbug at the foul line. Everything else didn't happen. Poor Jaden, man, that's rough. That is bowling, Kiera. You can look so unbeatable 1 minute, and 20 minutes later, it's ugh. And the Colt's been making a lot of step ladders, and every once in a while you'll get a match where your opponent doesn't have a good look, and Tommy has the power to tap out that 10. He is in cruise control as well. Well, shoot, I was hoping for more theatrics here. That Colt, a rising star on this tour here, is going to give a big boost to his season-long point standings, which you better believe he watches. And McNeil is going to climb into the rare air of 9 titles. Much harder to get that high title total up here in the Northwest, as unless they hop on a plane, they only have limited opportunity to win titles as opposed to the guys down south. So 10 here is like 50 down south, and Tommy's going to be at 9. The only people close in the history of the Northwest: Plunkett, Weir, Kent. Yeah, and of course, once it's out of the wood, called for Wong, and finishing in style gets the 410 to evaporate. In that lane, he'll go strike spare double to finish that out. He'll be in the 190 scratch. That's a well-deserved 4th career title. And 9-0 is 2-2-2. There's Flame. Good for Jaden for still having a smile on his face. I know it is a wry smile at best, but some kids would be there are some kids of lesser constitution that would already be out in the parking lot, even equipment around. Jaden has still got a grin on his face. But what he doesn't have is an X on the scoreboard. He started with 1, it looked like it was going to be good, and then a bunch of horizontal lines after that. Not what you're looking for. Wong's got 188 in the wood over there. It's not going to be enough. That's a bitter disappointment for him. He is just way too good to be at 0 titles. They'll come. You got to keep going to the well. Once they do come, they tend to come in bunches. And Jaden makes it a complete... Is that a 6-pack? Uh-oh. He's getting barked at from McConna over there for Tommy 5-7s, and McConna's not happy. I thought he was yelling at you, Jaden. he was. Now Tommy should make it for getting barked at. Oh, get it! Oh.
I don't forgive you for this. You have to get up.
McConna is sauced, salty. Well, for Jaden, after a spectacular day, it is a 6-pack of 9 dashes in the title match. Count them, 6. Sometimes these things happen, but shouldn't take away from great bowling for both of them. Ginger on ginger, man love there. And by a 213 to 176 final, Tommy's a 9-time winner. Great stuff out of all of our finalists anyway. We do it all over again in Albuquerque in 6 days. Kiara Wilcox will be there. I hope you will be too.